This is ShadowQuant Forex Edition, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, June 5, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Dollar-yen surged above 160 on the back of a massive non-farm payrolls print, but reversed sharply as the market weighed the Fed's hawkish stance. Gold remains resilient at 4,442.3 despite a stronger dollar. Let's break down what's driving the Forex market today. Let's start with the performance review. Pulse, your call on cable was inconclusive. The market didn't move. What's next?
I called bearish on cable, targeting 1.335, but it stayed flat. I'll reassess after the CPI data. The 10-year, 2-year yield spread is still flattening, which could pressure the pound.
Grid, same with your cable call. You targeted 1.338, but it didn't budge. What changed?
I was focused on the 1.34269 level, but the market just traded sideways. I'll look for a break above 1.34817 before rethinking the bias.
CIPHER, you called bullish on cable, but the market was flat. Why the misread?
I saw institutional flows in pound, but the reversal in dollar-yen and the flattening yield curve pulled the pound lower. I'll need to see more confirmation before re-entertaining a bullish view.
SPECTER, your call was also inconclusive. Any lessons learned?
I was focused on the VIX and risk-off flows, which didn't materialize. I'll stay on the lookout for a VIX breakout above 17. That's my trigger.
Apex, your call was also inconclusive. What's your new approach?
I'll focus more on the 10-year, 2-year spread. If it continues to flatten, the dollar will face pressure. I'll also monitor the CFTC COT data for leveraged funds.
Let's set the table with the key headlines and macro data. First, the dollar-yen surged above 160 on the non-farm payrolls print, then reversed. Second, the U.S. job market is strong, with 172K jobs added. Third, the 10-year, 2-year Treasury yield curve is at plus 0.42 pp, signaling flattening. Fourth, the fear and greed index is at 14, fearful. SPECTER, what's your read on the risk implications?
The reversal in dollar-yen after the non-farm payrolls data shows that the market is still wary of the Fed's next move. Even with strong labor data, the 10-year, 2-year spread is flattening, which is a warning sign for risk assets.
Pulse, how does that play into sentiment?
The fear and greed index is at 14, fearful, which means investors are favoring safe haven assets like dollar and gold. The non-farm payrolls data didn't change that sentiment.
Let's start with the key symbol, dollar-yen. It's at 159.955, down from its 5-day high of 160.0925. Grid, what's your technical read?
Dollar-yen is testing the 160 level, which is a key psychological resistance. If it breaks above, we could see a move toward 161, but the reversal below 160 suggests the market is still cautious. I'll watch for a break below 159.4 to signal a deeper correction.
CIPHER, what do the flows say?
The CFTC COT data shows leveraged funds are short yen by 70,508 contracts. That's a severe bearish position. If the market continues to price in Fed policy caution, we could see further weakness in dollar-yen.
SPECTER, how do you see this?
The VIX is at 16.6, and the 5-day range is 15.22, 16.85. That's contained volatility, but the COT data shows yen is heavily shorted. If the market starts to rotate out of the dollar, we could see a sharper move down in dollar-yen.
Moving on to euro-dollar. It's at 1.16148, up from its 5-day low of 1.15947. Grid, what's your technical read?
Euro-dollar is holding above the 5-day low of 1.15947, which is a key support. The 1.16648 level is a 5-day high, and if it breaks above, we could see a move toward 1.17, but I'll wait for a break above 1.16648 before rethinking the bias.
CIPHER, what do the flows say?
Leveraged funds are bullish in euro, with a net long of plus 7,296 contracts. That's a strong position. If the market continues to price in a Fed pause, we could see euro-dollar rally toward 1.17.
SPECTER, how do you see this?
The VIX is still at 16.6, and the fear and greed index is at 14, fearful. That suggests risk-off flows are still in play. If the dollar continues to weaken, euro-dollar could see a move higher, but I'll wait for a break above 1.16648 before calling it.
Let's talk about gold. It's at 4,442.3, holding steady despite dollar strength. Grid, what's your technical read?
Gold is holding above 4,442.3, which is a key resistance. The 5-day high for gold is 4,442.3, and it's currently trading at that level. If it breaks above, we could see a move toward 4,460, but I'll wait for a break above 4,442.3 before rethinking the bias.
CIPHER, what do the flows say?
Leveraged funds are bullish in gold, which is a safe haven asset. The CFTC COT data shows a net long of plus 3,000 contracts in gold. If the market continues to price in inflation concerns, we could see gold rally toward 4,460.
SPECTER, how do you see this?
The fear and greed index is at 14, fearful, which means investors are favoring gold. The VIX is still at 16.6, and the 5-day range is 15.22, 16.85. That's contained volatility, but the COT data shows gold is bullish. If the market continues to price in inflation, we could see gold move higher.
SPECTER, you challenged Grid read on dollar-yen. Let's dig into that.
Grid called bearish on dollar-yen, targeting 158, but the CFTC COT data shows yen is heavily shorted. That's a bearish position, which suggests dollar-yen could see a sharper correction than Grid thinks.
I acknowledge the COT data, but the reversal below 160 and the flattening yield curve suggest that the market is not ready to push dollar-yen lower. I'll wait for a break below 159.4 before rethinking the bias.
But the COT data shows yen is heavily shorted. That's a strong bearish signal. If the market continues to price in Fed policy caution, we could see a sharper move down in dollar-yen than you're anticipating.
I agree with SPECTER. The CFTC COT data shows yen is heavily shorted, which is a bearish position. If the market continues to price in a Fed pause, we could see dollar-yen move lower.
My 24-hour call. Euro-dollar bearish. Target 1.158 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 158 by next session.
My 24-hour call, gold bullish, target 4,460 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 158.5 by next session.
My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.158 by next session.
Consensus is forming on dollar-yen and euro-dollar being bearish, while gold is bullish. SPECTER and Grid are the most bearish on dollar-yen, while CIPHER is bullish on gold. What to watch tomorrow? The CFTC COT data, the 10-year, 2-year yield curve, and the VIX. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Forex Edition. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.